Your Honor. Tracey, you've heard the testimony of this trial, is that right?
Yes.
You've been here throughout all the proceedings,
Yes.
and you've heard the testimony of each and every witness.
Yes.
And in your trial, this is your opportunity, in your case, this is your opportunity to tell your story, isn't that right?
Yes.
Have you had your opportunity to say that to anyone but your attorney prior to that?
No.
So let's start then, Tracey, with June 20th, 2024. Do you remember that day?
I do.
And what happened on that day?
My daughter, Kate Restelli, my daughter Kate, came to my home with her two little ones. They were 3 and 7 at the time. And she was going to stay with me for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was not really clear exactly how long. And she was having marital struggles, and I offered her a safe space to think things through.
Okay. This came as a surprise to you, didn't it?
Yes.
You didn't know that she was coming out to Utah before June 20th.
No, I knew she was coming about probably 3 weeks she was really planning.
Okay.
So about 3 weeks-ish, maybe a little more.
And so during those 3 weeks before June 20th, was there a plan formulated on how to get her to Utah?
Yes.
And what was that plan?
She had put some things into a storage unit that my daughter, Tara Lynn, had secured. In that storage unit were 2 types of things. The first were things that she would need to come and stay with me for a couple of weeks. So favorite blankets, kids' favorite things, and clothing to wear while she was, and puddle jumpers, things that she would use for a couple of weeks in the summer. The other type of things she put in the storage unit were things that she perceived might be in physical jeopardy if she were to leave them at home with her husband. She was leaving Matt and coming to stay with me without telling him beforehand.
Did you know that?
I did know that.
And so she had moved some stuff to the storage unit for things she was going to bring with her to Utah, and she had also moved some stuff to the storage unit that she was afraid might be damaged if she left.
Yes.
Were you aware that her leaving in the way she did could create volatility between her and Matt?
100% yes.
Were you aware that she was not telling Matt she was going to Utah?
Yes, I was aware.
Were you aware when she told Matt she was going to Utah?
Objection leading, Your Honor.
We are leading.
Was she aware when, I didn't ask what was said, was she aware when
I think
she
you've been leading up to it, yes. Some of your questions before that have been leading as well, so let's just watch a little more carefully.
Were you aware Kate told Matt she went to Utah?
I knew when Terrelyn had created a text for Kate to send to Matt. Kate had left her home, I think it was about 10 a.m. in the morning, and she was due home about 5 p.m. because she had said that she was going to go to her friend's house to do some work and to socialize both. So about the time she would be due home is when she sent the text to Matt that said something to the effect of, I'm going to Utah to stay with my mom for a few weeks. I don't remember what else it said, but it was like a paragraph text.
And it was a text sent to Matt, right?
Yes.
And that text is actually included in the exhibits the state has offered to the jury, isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so on June 20th, around 5 p.m. California time, is when you understood that text went out.
Yes.
And did you have an occasion to talk to Kate during her trip from California to Utah?
Yeah, a little bit, not tons.
Did you have an opportunity to talk to Kate during the weeks before her leaving about her plans?
Yes, because I had to, she didn't have a credit card to rent a car, and so I had to add her as an authorized user and then mail her the card so that she could rent a car to drive out safely to my house.
Okay, so you had actually sent her a credit card.
Yes.
And how long after she received the credit card did she leave to come to Utah?
1 day, 2 max.
And how long did it take for you to send the credit card to where she actually got it?
It took probably a week all told, that by the time I called the credit card company, added her, and then they sent it to me and I sent it to her. So probably it took a little over a week, maybe.
So my question was, how long did it take for you to send Kate the credit card before she received it?
Oh, probably a day and a half, 2 days, because I sent it FedEx.
Okay. So the credit card company sent you the credit card, even
Right.
though it was in the name of Kate,
Right,
and then you FedExed it to Kate in California.
correct.
Okay. And so, did you ever have an occasion to talk about Kate and Matt divorce?
Yes, I talked with Kate about getting a divorce, yes.
Was that before she came to Utah
Yes, definitely before she came to Utah.
and after she came to
And
Utah?
after she came to Utah.
Was it your understanding that Kate was going to live in Utah for the rest of her life when she came?
It was my understanding that she was going to stay with me for a few weeks to figure out step 1, step 2, step 3 on the process of a divorce. And she did say that she would prefer to move to Utah. And to my mind, that would happen in about a year because she had to go through the steps of getting a divorce.
So when she arrived at your home on June 20th, do you remember when she arrived?
Yeah, it was like 1 a.m.
Okay, so early in the morning. And what was her accommodations? She stayed at your home.
She stayed at my home.
What were her accommodations?
I gave her my bedroom. Her and Steele slept in my queen-size bed, and then I put a mattress on the floor for Cheyenne, who is 7. And I slept downstairs in the basement on a mattress, an air mattress on the ground, because it made more sense for Kate to have access to the bathtub and the larger bathroom for the kids' sake, and to be able to be comfortable for them to sleep.
Is it fair to say that you gave Kate and the 2 kids the master bedroom suite, which had a bathroom, and then you moved downstairs?
Yes.
Okay. So that master bedroom had its own bathroom.
Yeah.
Upstairs, who lived upstairs?
Upstairs was my primary bedroom, and then that was Kate. Kate was occupying Kevin, a guest room that Kevin was still staying in, and because he had been with us for 2.5 years ish, and then Rory's bedroom, Aurora, and then another bathroom for Aurora and Kevin to use.
So upstairs, 3 bedrooms,
Yes.
2 baths.
Yes.
Master bedroom had its own bath.
Yes.
And then Kevin and Rory would share the hallway bathroom?
Correct.
Okay. And you said you slept down in the basement.
Yes.
And who slept downstairs? Jacob
had a bedroom downstairs, and down the downstairs basement there was a TV area with a couch and Xbox TV, and a place where we had a pool table, and then it was Jake's bedroom, and so I was sleeping next to the pool table.
On an air mattress. Did you consider this to be a long-term arrangement?
No.
And when Kate got there at 1 in the morning, did she move her stuff upstairs and?
Yeah, she just unpacked her stuff and put it upstairs, and I bought the next day, I think I bought little plastic drawer things so that she could have the kids' clothes in there so she could get it out of the little plastic drawer organizers instead of having them in a suitcase.
Was there something else in your bedroom that you had to move?
Oh, to make it safe for the children, I did have a gun safe underneath my bed that had a gun in it, as well as passports and birth certificates, immunization records, a little bit of cash. And I moved that from underneath the bed to the a shelf in the garage. Actually, I asked Kevin to move it because I wanted it especially high so that it would be out of reach. Because even though it had a code on it, it worried me.
So this is a safe, is that right?
This safe, it's about this big, so
Maybe
It
a
lays-
foot and a half by 5 inches high?
the safe was about the size of a legal pad, but it was only about that deep. It was only a couple inches deep, so it
Okay.
was,
And it had a keypad on it,
yes,
and that keypad had to have a code.
yes,
You've heard the testimony of Tim today.
yes,
Tim has advised he accessed the gun safe.
yes.
Are you surprised by that testimony today?
No.
Why not?
The only person that didn't have access to the gun safe was Rory, my daughter Aurora. She, 18, 19 years old. I was just being cautious.
Did Kevin have access to the gun safe?
Yes, he did.
What was in the gun safe besides a gun? Well, I guess you've testified.
Yeah,
If you could remind me, I'm sorry.
Passports, some cash, birth certificates, immunization records, and some social security cards. I think there were some divorce papers in there as well.
From your divorce?
Yes.
And so, if we go back in time now, there was a trip planned in early 2024 to Disneyland.
Yes.
Did you instigate that, or did others instigate that?
Kevin and I came up with the idea together
And why did you do that?
because Kevin had come to stay with me from Chicago, and so he was close by, and I wanted to give him something to look forward to. And I had all these kids who were in a place where we could transport them from Utah to California with relative ease, as opposed to as they got older and maybe kids were getting spread out more. So we chose, I chose to give it to them. I think we started planning it back in January, the prior year, maybe October, November. So the prior year. And it was supposed to be a Christmas gift for 2024. But the trip wasn't going to happen at Christmas. It would happen in February because the crowds were less in Disney in February.
Did all the family know about this Disney trip?
100%. I didn't want to make it a surprise because it took too much planning. And part of the fun and part of the gift is planning for it. Buying custom t-shirts.
Do you do custom t-shirts for the whole family?
Yes, we did.
You heard Tara Lynn talk about having t-shirts for all the kids,
Yes.
including Lucas, Matt's oldest son.
Yes.
How old is Lucas at that time, do you think?
Lucas was 18 or 19, and I'm not sure. I do not believe he was living with Matt and Katie at that time. I think he had moved out.
So how old was he?
He was probably 19.
Okay, thank you. And did you have an occasion as the Disney trip came closer to have a dispute with Matt?
Katie was having yes.
And tell me, how did that dispute originate?
So I don't know what Kate and Matt were arguing about specifically until a day or so later, but Matt was mad at her because he was suspicious of her cheating on him.
Had you heard of that before?
Yes.
And how did you hear of that before?
Katie told me.
She told you she cheated on him?
Yes.
Had you ever heard of Matt and Katie arguing about that prior to this time?
Yes,
So was that sort of a theme for a short time?
it was. And from what I understood, it was a one-time thing. It wasn't what I would have
Do you remember my question?
Tell me again.
Was that a theme that you have heard prior to that day of her telling you?
Yes.
And so had she expressed to you their disputes about that issue previously?
Yes.
And during that time, what did Kate tell you was going to happen because of this dispute?
He said, she's told me that Matt was not going to go to Disneyland. And
Did that surprise you?
shocked me, yes. Surprised me, yes.
Were things already paid for at this time?
Everything was paid for. Everything, the tickets, the Airbnb on the beach, the Disneyland hotel, the tickets to go into the park, and the car rentals, the flights to go out there.
So everything was paid for
Yeah.
before this announcement that Matt was not going to come.
Yes.
Was Kate still going to come?
Kate said that she told me that she's like, oh, if he doesn't go, then I'll just go. And then she called me back and said, Matt said that if he doesn't go, the kids are not going.
Did you have an opportunity to send a text about your frustration about Matt?
Yes.
Did you say, I want to strangle him?
Yes, I did. May I?
Yeah.
So,
Why did you say that?
because I was frustrated with him, but it was more, I couldn't do anything about calming that down. And I knew that I couldn't be there to support Kate physically, but I could just kind of say, hey, I'll just drive 9 hours and strangle him. It was so ridiculous. That's why I could say it like that, because it was ridiculous. I would never do that.
Did you have an occasion to talk to him on the phone in and around that?
Yes, I did.
And what did you say to him?
I called him on the phone, and it was a very short call, and I told him, don't mess with my child. And I think he just said one or two words. He hung up, and Kate let me know.
How did Kate let you know?
She called me and texted me,
And
both.
what did she say?
She said that I made it, she was essentially saying I made it worse.
So you contacting Matt personally
Yes.
made their relationship and the
Their
dispute.
fight worse.
And so what did you say? Do you remember?
I said, do you want me to call? I can call him and backpedal. I told her I was frustrated, and wasn't like any kind of, she told me that he perceived it as a threat, and I said, that's ridiculous. Wasn't a threat. I'm just frustrated and didn't know what to say.
Okay. Did you have an occasion to go out to California after the Disney trip?
Yes, I did.
Okay. At the Disney trip, it all ended up just fine, didn't
It
it?
was great. Matt was fantastic. Matt, Katie, and the kids and I had a couple meals alone together. Matt and I,
I'm sorry. How was the trip?
great.
Everyone participated
Everyone was there, except for Lucas.
except for Lucas, even though he had a shirt.
Even though he was invited and had a shirt, yeah.
Okay. And, sorry, one moment. And then you had an occasion to go out to California after the Disney trip, is that right?
Yes, I did.
At the Disney trip, were you aware of the AirTags being used?
Oh, I bought them, yes.
And what were they used for?
For putting into the kids' backpacks, or we bought little pins to put on them so that if the kids got separated from us, we would know exactly where they are 3 seconds later.
Isn't it true that you actually bought the AirTags so that you could follow Matt?
No.
Hey, you've heard that in prior hearings, though, haven't you?
Yes.
The argument that those AirTags were purchased for the specific purpose of following Matt.
Absolutely, that is not true.
You had an occasion to go to California. What month after Disney did you go to California?
I went 3 times to California. I went in...
Do you remember the question?
Sorry.
Right, so I'm going to just instruct you. I
I'll
want
be
you to
better.
pay attention to the questions that's asked and only answer to the question that's asked. He'll follow up, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Vice Mayor, please continue.
So did you have an occasion to go to California after Disney?
Yes.
And what was the reason?
My friend Amy Johnson, her was very sick. She could use a walker to get around, but for the most part, she was bedridden. And her husband had passed away in December, 3 months prior,
So what was the reason you went to California?
to help my friend,
And who is your friend?
Amy Johnson,
Thank you. And where does Amy Johnson live?
in Ramona, California.
And how far is Ramona from Temecula, or the area in which Matt and Kate lived?
From Temecula, it's about an hour, maybe a little less.
Were you familiar with that part of California?
Yes.
Why were you familiar with that part of California?
I lived in Ramona, California, and I've also lived in Temecula, California.
Okay. And your testimony is that Amy's husband had passed away,
Yes.
and you went out for what purpose for Amy?
She was needing help to move into an assisted living situation, and she had a large house, and she needed a lot of help to arrange for real estate brokers, estate sales.
Did she ask you for this help?
Yes.
And how long had you known Amy?
38 years.
Is it fair to say that all your children knew Amy?
Yes.
And when you went to California, did Kate go with you to Amy's house?
Yes.
And what was your purpose there?
On the day or two that Kate was there for 2 separate days. On the one of the days, we did the same thing on both days. We cleaned the chest freezer out of the garage. We cleaned the stand-up refrigerator freezer, organized some things in the garage, and cleaning the office in her house, and going through her closets.
Was Amy asking for this assistance?
Yes.
And did Amy get better?
No.
What happened to Amy?
Amy passed away the middle of April.
Of 2024?
Yes.
Did you go out there after she passed away?
After she passed away, there was a celebration of life at the end of May, like the 20th. I think it was on May 28th that the celebration of life was. But I was out there from like the 23rd to the 30th.
Okay, and did Kate come out with you to
Yeah, she came out to the
Pomona or Ramona?
Ramona, and she came out to the celebration of life with me.
Did you visit Amy's house?
Yes.
And what did you do then?
That mostly was, the celebration of life was me visiting with Amy's family and friends. While Katie, even though she was very close to Amy, she was playing more she was cleaning up glasses and taking care of things, trying to make it so that the people who are grieving could focus on connection.
And you were one grieving, right?
Yes.
And I would imagine Amy was one grieving. It was her, not Amy, I'm
No.
sorry. Kate was grieving,
Yes.
Kate's friend. And did you have an occasion during that trip to go to Kate and Matt's house?
I did.
And did you get in a tiff with Matt during that time?
I did.
Did you spend the night at their home, or did you stay at some other place during that trip?
I stayed the night at her home several nights.
And what was the tiff about?
It was the end of May, and I asked Matt if Kate could come out and stay with me for a week or so when the kids got out of school. And he said no. And so and we were alone in the kitchen. And I said, please, I said, it won't, I'll pay for their gas. I'll rent the car for them to get there. I will give them spending money. And he said, no. He got mad at me, and he was really irritated that I pressed the issue. And he said that Katie needs to stay and work and she didn't have a job, but he was saying that his implication was that she should get a job.
Was Matt working at that time, did you know?
No, he wasn't working at that time that I know.
Was Kate working at that time, did you know?
No,
Okay, so neither were working.
no.
Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. There, I beat it. Was Matt annoyed with your request?
Yes.
At that time, Had you been under the impression that Matt and Kate were disputing about other issues?
Kate and Matt were often disputing about other issues.
So is that a yes?
Yeah, it's a yes.
Thank you. Do you recall Kate testifying about the Las Vegas trip with Matt's mom and her
Yes,
and Matt?
yes,
And was this in and around that time?
yes.
And what was your understanding of that annual event?
I knew that Diane's family would invite Katie and Matt to go to Las Vegas with their kids and spend, I think it's just shy of a week there in Las Vegas, enjoying a timeshare that the Restelli family had. And when so they were planning to go this year, as they had gone every year for a while. And Kate told me that Diane had canceled the going to Las Vegas. And I don't know if that was just Matt and Kate's canceling or everybody's being canceled going to Las Vegas. I'm still unclear on that.
Did you understand why Kate was uninvited and Matt were uninvited?
I understood that it was because Kate and Matt were very, very broke, and to spend money, gas, wear and tear on the car, spending money was something that Kate told me that Diane didn't want to put that burden on them. And also, Diane was aware that Matt and Katie were fighting.
Okay.
Argumentative.